Hello and welcome to this episode of Go Download It, the show in which we talk about the latest and greatest apps. Here today we have Dan and we have Mark. Roll the titles. Okay, Mark, you're up first. What game do you want to talk about?
Right, the first game I want to talk about is Plague Inc. It's a strategy game in which you have to develop a virus which infects a population and then takes over the world. As you gain DNA points by infecting and killing people, you get to genetically modify this virus, and eventually the whole population is infected, and you have to beat the clock in the population trying to find a cure. It's a very good game, but you do need a lot of strategy for it. Sometimes you have to think about how am I going to infect these people faster, or how am I going to kill these people faster before a cure is made.
So what kind of things can you upgrade with your DNA points?
Right, so you get to affect the ability to make this virus more infectious, whether it's through poultry or through cows, and if it's airborne. You also get to affect the effect it has on the human body. So you start off with like a simple cough and a rash, and you end up with lesions and some sort of blood boiling disease, I guess.
How light-hearted and fun.
I know.
So, where would you say, in your opinion, the best country to start your disease in?
I hate saying it, but a lot of the southernmost countries, like a lot of places that we know that don't have good medical care or don't have good hospitals, like I tried it in the Americas and the United Kingdom, but it was a little more difficult to do. I'd say you need to get more experience doing that. But India or Africa's would be best.
Okay, so it's kind of realistic in that way as well. Yeah. That's really cool.
Okay, thank you, Mark. And Dan, what's your first game?
Okay, first up, I'm going to talk about BattleCamp. BattleCamp's kind of puzzle type adventure battle Pokemon dual quest Candy Crush weird type thing. Basically, that was a lot of words, but basically you have a map and you've got all these different environments, and you can go around battling these monsters, and you collect monsters as you go along and get eggs for new monsters. You upgrade your monsters with points and whatever. But instead of having like time-based battles like you'd normally get in Pokemon or other RPGs, you have to connect and match jewels and like these little sort of symbols and stuff. And when you match the element of a monster together with a minimum of 3 symbols, it performs a move and attacks the beast you're fighting. So yeah, you do that, you kill off monsters, you collect eggs and little items and stones and advance in the game and whatever. It's a nice, cute little game. It's got this kind of chibi art style to it, and yeah, it's a bit of fun. It's an MMO as well, so you can battle against other people online and test your skills against them. You can do all these like mad combos with it, which is like if you drag it around, it kind of shifts all the little puzzle pieces. I'm so rubbish at them. Like I can maybe get a 2 or 3 combo, and that's with like a bit of luck. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna connect all these. It's like, I'll move that there. Oh look, I got a 4. Way. But yeah, really nice little game. Really fun to while away some time on. But obviously you do need a constant internet connection to play it as well. So yeah.
Okay. So as you level up monsters, what kind of new abilities do you get?
Well, the monster leveling works by, it sounds a bit wrong and weird, but it works by, I've got an obsession with this, like my alpaca game. It's you feed other monsters to your monster, and then you can gain, there's 2 types of abilities. There's passive abilities and active abilities. So you might get those from like eating another monster. A passive ability is stuff like if you have 2 monsters with the same star sign, because star signs are important in this game. You have 2 monsters with the same star sign, it might boost their attack. Or like an active ability might be something like it's an attack that every 3 moves it'll like send out a blast against the enemy, or heal up some of your characters or something like that. So yeah, you get some nice little extras. And you get like rare and uncommon monsters, and like obviously there's some paid stuff to it as well, so you can buy extra things and download extra things and pay for coins and all that sort of stuff, but you can get on well enough without paying any money as well. So it's
okay, so the app is free then?
Yes, completely free to download, yeah, but obviously in-app purchases.
It's always good.
Okay, and we see a lot of these Candy Crush games coming out sort of when you have to match all the gems and stuff. Having monsters to level up, is that more of a motivation to play?
I think it kind of is in a way as well, because I don't normally go for like Dual Quest and Candy Crush type games. It's just not really my style. I don't know. I see it as more, and I don't want to offend anyone, but more of as like a middle-aged woman, you know, on a sort of mobile sitting at home and play some Dual Quest. But I don't know. Like it's because I'm not a huge fan of the game. It's good to while away the hours, but it's not generally something I'd normally play. So I don't want to comment on it and saying, oh yeah, it's really crap and I hate all these Candy Crush type things. But then I have been playing it more than I would have if I downloaded Candy Crush. So I suppose it does kind of add that extra element, and it's got that kind of progression to it as well. So that does add a little bit. But yeah, I mean, if it's your kind of game, I'm sure it'll keep you going for weeks, if not months.
So Mark, what's your second game?
The second game I want to talk about is something that I fell in love with for the first time I played it. It's called Quizup. You have 7 questions, and you have 10 seconds to answer these questions. On any subject, it could be from Game of Thrones to national flags. And the best part is that you get to play with someone actually online, and you get to see their answer as well. So you've got to get up to, I think it is 100 points, and it's a winner. And sometimes it does get pretty close and competitive. Like the last round is a bonus round. So you do, if you're falling behind, you still have a chance to pick up. But it's always that last question that sort of throws you. But quite good things to say about it. The graphics is good. It's very user-friendly. You just need to tap the buttons, the big buttons for the answers. The only thing that I don't like quite about it is sometimes it drops out. Like, it might be an internet issue, but I've had other people say this to me, that the game just quits on you and you have to start with a new player. But except for that, and just one tiny thing that slightly annoys me is that you get a chance to play again with this player, but you get a big denied button that comes up at you, and it's a bit like a slap in the face.
You feel rejected by the game.
Yeah, and I just think if you're,
I don't want to read.
yeah, especially if it's quite competitive. Like I was playing with someone a few days ago, and it was 5 games, and it had been 3-2.
Oh,
Luckily,
man.
I'd won, and I wanted to replay again out of good faith.
Yeah.
They didn't want to, so yeah,
so
it's a very good game. I do like it.
But yeah, you mentioned before with the last question, the bonus one, that you can catch up. How does that work?
Well, it's just the fine. I think it's 2 times the score more. So if, say, you've got about 60 and the other person has 80, you could both get up to 40, both get up to 100 pretty quickly. I've never seen a tie on it, but I think you do. If it comes to a tie and you both get the right answer, I think you get a sort of 1 point bonus for who answered fastest.
So you can play against other people, but is there any way to prove how much smarter you are than other people when you've won?
Well, there isn't a sort of IM messaging service, and you can't talk to these people, which is possibly good. Like there have been a lot more things about hateful comments recently, like PewDiePie not deleting his comments on YouTube.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Which, like, it's just a good. Like, you don't get to know the person, you just get to compete against them on a subject most likely that you love against. So yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's good.
It's good stuff. All right, and finally, Dan, what's your second game?
My second game is called Cubic Tour. It's a puzzle game, and it's another perspective one. I kind of like my perspective games. So the basic premise of it is you get a cube, and each line of the cube is like a level. And then each level has 5 gates, and you have to travel through these gates. Each gate has like a 2D shape on it, made out of boxes. And you have a 3D shape made out of boxes that you have to then turn and manipulate by swiping the screen and try and make it the same as the one on the gate so that you can get through. So I think it's every 5 gates you pass through. Then you get to a new level, and it just keeps going and going around this like massive web of cubes, and yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Okay, and do you have a time limit on these gates or not?
Yeah, each gate, I think it takes about like 10 seconds. You're slowly moving towards the gate as you play through it. So if you don't get the right shape in time, then it will send you back, and you have to start the whole level again. So and yeah, as you go on, it gets more and more difficult, and there's more cubes and more colors and more swiping and frantic. Oh, where is it? So yeah, it can get pretty hectic at times. But it's also got the added bonus of kind of completion stuff, because if you complete each gate within a certain time, it fills in a little block. So the aim is to kind of fill in all the blocks, not just pass the levels. So yeah, it's got a bit of replay value to it as well if you're mad. But yeah, that's my second game, Cubic Tour. Completely free, again, on Android and iOS. So yeah, anyone can play.
And what are the graphics like for the 3D images?
I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. It's just mostly boxes. It's got a nice kind of background to it where there's some parallax scrolling and you feel like you're moving through a star field. But I mean, everything's pretty basic, but it has that kind of Neon Tron-esque kind of feel to it as well. Not entirely, but yeah, I mean, it's very basic graphically, but I think it's more about the gameplay and the frantic sort of swiping and turning for this one. So.
So that's all we have time for today. Thank you very much for watching, and if you missed our last video, you can catch that here.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
And follow us on Twitter.
Effortless.
His was lighter than mine, that's not
Thanks for
fair.
watching. See you next time.